It's the Brewery Fresh Carlton Draft, the #1 tap beer in Australia. Andy Marr, Mick Malloy, Sam Pang. Magnificent to be back on the eve of the AFL season. We are so very excited. Brendan Gale, Richmond CEO, are going to join us. Sam Lane to preview the AFLW Grand Final. There's a load to talk about. What an off-season it's been, lads.
What an off-season.
Yeah.
Where to start?
Well, where do you want to start?
City to Hobart. Mate. Nicky? I know. Look, I know.
Nothing else on the radar?
I know.
Nothing else bobbed up since I saw you last?
Well, I know you're a Wild Oats man, but I just thought I'd No, come on. Let's get it out.
Here we go. Right. Tigers, come on!
We haven't.
You out.
We actually
Get it, mate.
we haven't spoken footy since the grand final day. We've been doing a few other things here and there. We haven't. How has it been?
It's been an extraordinary ride since I saw you last. Can either of you remember what it's like to win a grand final?
Shut up.
Can you?
Right.
I'm not showing off. I just
Yeah,
want to.
you
You
are.
know what it feels like? It feels like you own the world and everything in it.
How many times have you watched the replay?
Well, 17.
Is it true? Somebody
in
told
total.
me. Somebody told me that you have your little satchel briefcase thing you carry around for work.
I do.
And somebody told me that you take a DVD of the grand final around wherever you go, just in case. There's a DVD machine.
I have it on me at all times. You never know when you just... someone walks into it, or you're watching cricket, you're out at someone's house, and they go, well, the cricket's over. It'd be good if there's any more sport on.
You might have...
I might be able to help you out, yeah.
Might have to explain to some of our younger viewers what a DVD is. But
Go and get my
All right.
bag.
Go on.
Could you genuinely believe that the drought was over?
Here it was.
37 years, Mickey.
No, I couldn't. And it's funny, it's like a slow-release drug or something at the time. You wonder what's going on, and then every hour thereafter, it gets better and better. And look, I probably celebrated until this time last week. Well done, Benny.
Oh, that's
We got him on.
that
One of
was-
the architects of a great flag for the Richmond Football Club.
Forget-
37 years in the making. It was an extraordinary ride through the finals. One of the greatest months
No doubt, no doubt about it.
of my life. And living
Yes.
in Richmond, the actual city where it takes place, in an era of draft picks and all that stuff, to actually see a suburb. Living in Richmond that month was like being in the opening number of a musical. People were, honestly, good morning. I'm not joking. People were hanging out windows. Every second house had flags or scarves coming out of it. There was a mural for Dusty. Someone did a mural for me.
That is true.
Well, it was either me or Matt Preston. It's hard to tell. But it was just a great month, and there was just this thing, and it just shows you what it means to be part of a tribe and how long we'd waited. And
good on
what
you,
a
mate.
smashing
It was a 30.
It
It
was.
was a long drought, by the way. If anyone knows about droughts, it's this panel, by the way. So, so many wonderful reactions, of course, we saw there. But let's have a look at yours, Mickey. Of course, you were there.
Right.
Obviously. Not in the corporate box as you usually are, but that was fine. Look, you went... I've got to be honest, mate, I thought that your celebration of the final siren was just way over the top.
There it is.
What is wrong with you?
I was trying to keep a lid on it. I was trying to keep a lid on it. That's
Mate.
it. It was fantastic
Now,
stuff.
you say you're in the heartland, and you are. You're embedded in Richmond. What was Swan Street like?
Swan Street was just amazing, so that's where we went immediately after the grand final. Ground zero, here we go. Ground zero for Richmond Nutbags. Immediately after the grand final. That tiger needs to be breath tested, by the way, at the front. There we go. You're getting a play. Have a look at that. That is a sea of people in Swan Street within an hour afterwards.
Mate.
It was true mayhem.
Nicky, you'd be safer in Syria than you would. Have a look at that.
And it was just extraordinary. This went on into the hour. It was all
Great
pretty
scenes.
safe. There was no danger.
No,
There's a couple of people pepper sprayed. Myself.
Let's have a look actually at the moment. You say it was
well,
safe,
this
but
is
the moment
true.
when you actually rolled up to Swan Street, Nicky.
I turned
this
up.
is genuine
I couldn't
footage.
have been.
Have a look
Well,
at
you
that.
have to be amongst it.
right.
And there we are. Going to my mate Jimmy's place.
You're so humble, aren't you, Mickey? Look at you.
I honestly think if Peggy O'Neill announced that she was stepping down on this particular night, the president of the Richmond Footy Club, is to get beer poured all over you. You actually could have run for president that night.
Never.
Got elected.
No, I'm a fan. I'll always be a fan. We're out there. Can I just say, my favourite story on the night was at Swan Street. All the pubs were full as a goog, so a lot of those Richmond fans couldn't get into a pub. So what they did is they went to the Liquorland at Coles. They went inside and started treating it like a venue. So there's 40 guys in the cool room just smashing beers. And when they were asked to leave, they started singing, "Oh, we're from Liquorland." Good-natured fun from the Richmond heartland. Well done. Brilliant. Great stuff all around.
It's good to know where you ended up that night, Mickey. That's good,
Yeah,
mate.
no, it was fun.
Can I just, not to put a dampener on it, but I think we're about, 10 minutes in, Murray? I don't really want to, that might be it, don't you? I don't want to turn this into the Richmond show for a whole hour.
All right, well, let's not. Well, let's talk about
move.
Carlton's season. How do you think that will go?
Geez, the Tigers were good. Really good.
It's been a busy off-season. There's no question there's been a lot to talk about, as there always is. The AFL season seems to extend itself longer and longer every year. And, of course, one of the most interesting things that bobbed up in the off-season was AFLX. AFLX bobbed up. And it was a fascinating concept and absolutely... I'm not sure how well received it was by the general populace. Did it have a big impact on you, for example, Sam?
AFLX?
AFLX, yeah.
I've had entrees that meant more.
I knew...
I'll say this. It's hard to get into it. Hard to get into a competition that has 3 winners in it. Andy, these are the 3 winners of the AFLX. There's Adelaide.
Yep.
Yeah, and if you missed out, don't worry. Brisbane Lions got one.
Yep.
And then Melbourne, of course. Melbourne got one. And look at that, Mickey.
In fact, there's been 3 premierships won since Richmond won their daytime.
By the way, I've got Melbourne.
Have you got it?
Melbourne's first silverware since 1964, and it's always every little boy's dream to hold up a Premiership X. and there it is. This is the actual trophy found on the side of the road.
No, it wasn't.
Shouldn't you be wearing white gloves or something?
I know, I'm sorry.
When you handle the AFLX. I thought it was great. I thought it might be interesting from the very start when they launched with this photo.
I think it's in trouble.
Which at the time I thought was a really average Cirque du Soleil ad. But that's how it got off to a flyer, and then it just snowballed from there, really, didn't it?
Sean Atley and Jack Billings are regretting the fact that they were part of that photo shoot. I know what the strangest thing about that picture is.
Another cracking one from Gill, though. He never We might have been a bit harsh, Mick, because we didn't go to a game, but from all reports, the atmosphere was amazing, as Limo reported up to Brian Taylor in the box.
And it's a fantastic atmosphere as well out here. We've got a DJ happening, we've got drinks over there, we've got food. It is a real party atmosphere tonight here at Hindmarsh Stadium for AFLX.
Absolutely fantastic, Limo. Tell them to come in and watch the footy.
Good idea.
AFL, there's the motto for the AFLX. It's great as long as you don't have to watch it.
But they're trying something new and they're pushing the envelope, and we saw some things we haven't seen before, like in fan engagement. I've never seen this at a game. Have a look in the background, in the crowd. There it is, an AFLX mime. And, you know, he's done a good job because he's taught everyone to act as if they're bored shitless in a really... good miming. Good miming.
Now, Mickey, you do love it. People who are watchers of this show will know that you love a long bomb, you love a torp, you love a goal from long range.
Yesterday's news, mate. Yesterday's news.
Is that right?
There's a new king in town, and it's the Zooper! The Zooper!
Robinson takes it on himself, and bang! A big Zooper!
Gives it plenty of air, no problems at all.
Yes.
Zooper, Zooper, Zooper! And he lines up for the Zooper, he just got it away! That's another Zooper Dooper.
It's raining Zoopers!
There's a phrase I've never heard before. It's raining Zoopers. Zooper, of course, is now my safe word. Zooper!
That's better than the... That's good. I'm glad you've made the change, because I remember your first safe word, it was more. That didn't
Always blew up in my
yeah,
face.
Didn't win well.
It
That one.
wasn't the only. There's been many other things bowled up. Oh, God, there's been many other things bowled up. You're going?
No,
nothing.
mate.
There's been many other things bowled up in the pre-season. And one of the things that has...
This is big.
That is that the AFL has informed clubs that the pre-game warm-up out on the ground is a thing of the past. It's opened up all sorts of
And
possibilities.
why is it gone? Do we know why?
I thought it was. If you're a player, that's a good thing to have.
The warm-up?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but it's about the fans. They want the grounds to be cleared so clubs can be more expressive with their fan engagement. There might even be curtain raises.
And think about tomorrow night, for example. That's Carlton's only opportunity to kick goals. It's when they're out there.
It's not funny.
It's going to be a long year, isn't it?
It's not funny.
How's Levi Casbolt going to practice kicking him out of bounds on the
all
full?
right.
I mean, if he doesn't have...
Come on, Carlton, beat them tomorrow night, please.
You think this is all set up for a Richmond
Oh,
lot?
I know it is, mate. Don't worry about that.
Do you know what this does do, though? By putting it down there, this frees up the time for cutting-edge pre-game entertainment,
Well, it does.
which I think we need. The likes of which we saw down in Tasmania recently, which I loved. That is as good as it gets. Bang! That's what I'm talking about. Look at that for action. What? Bobbing for apples? And if I know the prices at the footy, those apples are $20 each.
Go back and get it, mate.
Mickey, that was down in Tassie. That was actually during the game. So
And here we go. Here's a bit of fan engagement for you. That's what we all want to see before a game, boy.
And then the high five with the kids. If it's not bad enough they get exposed to that, then there's some high fives going on.
What do you want for your money, mate?
Oh, no, that's exactly what we want before a game. We're going to get a break out of the way here on the front
come
part.
on. Special guest.
Yes.
On the other side of the break, one of the people involved that are responsible for that Richmond Premiership is going to join us on the show. Brendan Gale, everybody. Great to have you with us on the eve of the 2018 season. Now, calm down, all right? One of the greats, one of the modern greats of the Richmond Footy Club's about to join us. One of the absolute architects of last year's premiership glory. Please make him welcome the CEO of the Richmond Footy Club, Brendan Gale, everybody. Thank you. Thank you, boys.
sit down.
Great to have you on the show.
Great to be, Andy.
For coming on. 90,000, there or thereabouts tomorrow night. Flag unfurled. Kick off the premiership defence. It's so unusual and so special for a Richmond Footy Club to be doing this, obviously. How excited are you about the prospect?
Yeah, exciting. It's really exciting. Exciting for the fans. We're ready.
Yeah.
We're ready. And footy's got its own sort of rhythm, and round one is really, it's the new season. And as much as we try otherwise, we keep getting dragged back to the premiership, which is wonderful and, to celebrate with our fans. But it's a new season, it's round one, it's really exciting.
I'd like you to say that again with a bit more excitement, please, if you could, just act a bit more. Hey, can we thank you, because you gave us a really great exclusive here last year on this very programme where you told us first, weeks before anyone else had the intel, that Dusty was going to stay and re-sign, which was some of the biggest news at Richmond. Here's how it went down on our show.
Brendan Gale, thanks for your time. Dustin Martin, will he be at Richmond next year or not?
Sam, I can say definitively that
It's good journalism.
Mate, it was good journalism. The only thing standing between me and a Walkley was a Mr. Whippy van, by the way. Very unlucky.
Now, can I take you back to a point where you made a 5-year plan back in 2010, and I think you said we were going to make the finals 3 times. We were going to have 75,000 members, and we're going to have 0 debt, and it was a 5-year plan. And look at us now.
Is there a question there, Mick? I mean, hold it. Well, how many members do you have?
We have 83,280, Sam.
So you got that wrong.
In fact,
got that wrong.
so hopefully we have 85 by tomorrow.
85. That makes us the biggest football club in Australia, bar none.
When you laid that down...
It's not a question.
Once again.
No, it's just another statement of fact.
When you lay that down, I remember at the time people going, this bloke's got rocks in his head. He's fair and he can biting off more than he can chew.
All that.
Were you, when you launched it, you want to set the bar high, but were you a bit nervous that...
Very.
I imagine.
Yeah, very.
Yeah,
I remember I spoke to our team and I said, we want to set a set of goals that make us nervous at night.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
And, you know, you shoot for the sky, you hit the telegraph wire. That's our view. And we didn't quite get there by 14, but we got pretty close. And it set the club on a course, I reckon.
It sure has. And, in fact, it's been great for everyone at boardroom level. My favourite board of all time, apart from maybe Neville Crowe's. I thought they had a certain... something...
They were...
The Richard boardroom table. Is that still going down at board meetings?
That's not PC these days, Mick.
That's not PC?
That's the Chemisac man-eater. And it's been wrapped up for good, I think. It's got had a bullet hole in its head.
Brendan, you know the Sydney Swans do a similar thing with Jeffrey Edelston at their board. It's not that bad, all right? It's not that bad.
Let me take... We do want to... This new season does start tomorrow, but it gives us a chance to reflect, on what's happened last year. Those moments on the siren for you, you're sitting next to Peggy O'Neill, the two of you have done a power of work. Can you take us into what you're feeling right here, right now?
Well, I feel misrepresented, Andy, because Peggy, just prior to that, whispered to me we should remind him of all the bonuses we'd have to pay to our coaches. And I collapsed into her arms, and she just worked through it. And
that's your son. That's
my son. Yeah.
So to be able to share that with one of your family.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, the people who work at the footy club, from board staff, put so much. Families who support our players, and give up so much, and I'm not that much fun to be around, particularly when we lose. So to share that moment with them, it's one of the greatest moments of my life.
Even when you win, you're not a ball laughs either, mate.
No, you're probably right, son.
Now, Betty, one of the greatest sons of the Richmond Football Club is Matthew Richardson, and I don't think in your time and in my time supporting, there's been a greater Tiger in all our time. Have a look at him watching the game and going through the emotions. This footage is extraordinary to me. Can you talk us through what he's doing? He's honestly short of being out there himself doing the next best thing, isn't it?
Well, he's paid to provide special comments, and I understand he's paid very well, Nick. But I think he made 2 comments for the entire game. He was incapable, he told me, and Tim had to help him, and deep down, Richo is a passionate Richmond fan.
It looks like he's had 35 coffees there. Look at him.
Oh, look at
According to his Fitbit, he did 80,000 steps that day, but I'm just letting you know.
Nicky, let me ask you a question. As a lover of the football club and him being one of your favourite players, when you see him living it like fans do, does that take you even closer to the heart?
It shows me that everyone just, at the end of the day, is pulling in the exact same direction for the Richmond Football Club. This is the other extraordinary moment immediately after the game. Let's have a look at him here. He's burst into tears. He's very emotional. I'm thinking he may have just realised he's parked his car in Swan Street. I'm not sure. But that was the ranking vibe on the day, wasn't it? You did it, Peggy did it, Richard did it. It was just this... What was the primary thing? Was it relief?
Oh, it was relief.
Joy?
From my point of view, it was just relief. It was, I guess the pressure and 37 years of really hard times, I guess. So, but Richo gave everything for the club, and he never got to enjoy the spoils of success, but he still works for the club, and he just loves the club. He loves the club so much, and
he's great.
Brendan, there's a lot of other stuff we want to talk to you about. We'll
get you over here shortly.
So just park yourself there if you wouldn't mind.
Have a beer, relax.
One of the other things that's been sort of dominating talkback and headlines in the last few days, right or wrong, is the re-recording of the AFL theme songs. Have you blokes been all over this?
Yeah, it's quite controversial, but personally I'm all for it, and I think it's about time. I don't know if you know this, I've actually got some of the new recordings here.
Have you?
Oh,
right.
Yeah, I do.
Really?
Oh, I do. I can give you your first listen to them. Where would you like to start?
What about the new Tigers?
Well, what about the new Tigers? OK, here we go. Here's your first listen to the new Tigers.
We're strong and we're bold, for we're from Tigers.
Back to back. Now, can you hear what they've done there? What they've done there?
Very. It's very subtle, Mick. It's very subtle.
It's very subtle, but if you listen closely, you'll enjoy all of these. Who else would you like to hear?
Any others?
Crows?
Crows, well, of course. So the vanquished in the grand final.
Yeah, of course.
They need a new fresh start. Here's how their song's going to go. We stand like dicks at the end. Yes! I see how that goes. All right, here's one.
That one not as subtle, Mickey, that one?
Okay, this is a ripper, and this is the North Melbourne. You've got to do them all, even for the struggling clubs. And this is this is North's new anthem.
Good old North Melbourne, they're champions, you'll agree.
But even with 12 million, they couldn't get Dusty. Yeah! Go on, what? That would be...
Really?
Oh, it'll catch
Really?
on. Yeah, no, North
Okay.
Melbourne fans will love singing that after one of their losses.
right.
Yeah, it'd be
I'll
great.
give you one more just before we go. Yeah, I've got one more.
Wow.
And this one gives me goosebumps. Have a listen to Hawthorns. Shithouse. That's as good as it gets.
No, it's good, it's good.
All right, I'll play some more later.
Which one? I mean, the clubs have got the choice, Benny, about which one they want to play, the remastered ones or the old traditional. I don't know what Richmond's plans are tomorrow night.
Yeah, are you asking if you're going to play mixed version?
Oh, no.
What are you doing? No, what are you
going with
doing?
the old famous
No, we'll be going with the new one, Andy.
what?
Yeah, a little different with ours because we had a historical error, and that is the recording wasn't faithful to the original words. So the original song is Risking Head and Shin, but it's always sung Risking Head and Skin. And we've had a lot of complaints and frustration over the years, but we never could deal with it because the AFL owns intellectual rights, intellectual property. So we took the opportunity to correct it and be faithful to the author and the original words.
Speaking as an authority on the figure of music, of course, because don't get ahead of it, everyone. Just relax. You were in a band. You're in a band called Trial by Video.
I was a very lame part of a band, Sam. I was. Yes.
Yeah, you were in a band because
We're all
footy
a
band.
We're all in a band. I was in a
footy
band.
band.
So what was
footy
yours
band. It's a
called?
footy band.
Yours was called Trial by Video?
Trial by Video.
I was in a band called Duty of Care.
Well, yeah.
You in one?
Oh, in the 80s, I was in a band called Match Review Panel.
What about you,
Andrew?
Andy?
Yeah, I was a drummer in a band called Osteitis Pubis. We're pretty grungy, Benny. Pretty grungy.
Now, I say this. I ask it because there's no footage of your band singing.
Thank
right?
heavens.
Yes,
Yeah.
I
Thank
think
heavens.
We tried.
burned by anyone who saw you play. But we've got some photos. I think.
Have we?
Yeah, of Benny
Look at that.
and Mark Zanotti, Tony Woods on keyboard. Who's on drums, Benny?
Paul Bullis.
Ah,
Paul
boy.
Bullis.
I'm sorry I
There you
asked.
go. Obviously, that's what you're wearing at dress rehearsal. What did you wear for the actual performance? Oh, Benny.
Whoa! What sort of songs?
Well,
It's a set list. Talk us through a
well,
set
we did
list.
covers and stuff, and
Like what?
Well, we did a bit of U2 and a bit of Stones and a bit of the Cranberries actually.
Is that right?
The Cranberries. We did a bit of the Doors.
What was your big finish? What
Well,
would you not, what
we
would
had
you boot it home with?
we had a residency at the Tunnel on Sunday night. And
The things you'll do for a drink card.
once we got asked for an encore, and we didn't have any other songs. We just repeated one.
Very good. I liked it a lot. Do we have some footage of the...
Yeah, no, we did. I mean, you're pretty proud of your time, aren't you, in the band? Because now you're doing some ruck coaching down at the Richmond VFLW team, and you don't mind telling the players. No, you don't.
Right.
You don't mind.
This is you talking up a trial by video to the girls of the Richmond football team women's league.
Up until that stage, only 3 bands had ever played on the MCG, and that was Madonna, Rolling Stones, U2, and Trial by Video.
And
Come on.
That is a complete stitch.
And you know what? Madonna tells the exact same story. She does. It's exactly how she tells it.
We're going to get a break out of the way
We
here
are.
on the front.
Better come and join us.
Join us
All right.
over here. Sam Lane not too far away. Nick's Multi, the last shout. All
Multi.
We're here for the Brewery Fresh Carlton Draft.
Oh, you're back.
That's very uncomfortable.
Film did that on a show called The Kick a few years ago. I think last time we made the final. And when my name came up on your phone, did it come up Mick Molloy's serial pest?
It did. It did.
I'm writing that down. I'll remember that for another day.
He's not just the CEO of the footy club. I mean, his heritage at this football club goes way back.
Anyone who has been a supporter of the Richmond Football Club over the last 20, 30 years knows the contribution made by this man on the field. He was a ruckman. He'd go forward to centre-half forward. He played 10 years for the Tigers. And there's some lean times in that period as well. He was always a rock. Richo really trying to...
Just for our younger viewers there too, that's called a pack mark. You played in a different era, didn't you, mate?
You gave your all, Benny Gale.
We did. It was a different era. It was we were very much a long kicking, long and direct, and had Richo to big forwards. Footy's great these days, though. The boys these days, they're really hard and tough. And
you were pretty tough too, and you were doing it while you were getting a degree and going on and developing other skills, so you could come back and grab the rudder for the whole team. Do you have fond memories of your playing days?
I do. Yeah, of course I do. And it's the journey. It's the journey. It's the shared struggle. It's the relationships. It's all those things. So generally, am I being set up for something?
No.
What is happening in this show? We can't just celebrate a man's career.
What is wrong with you? Give me a cuddle. Give me a cuddle. Come here. It's okay, mate. It's all right.
We don't just always set them. I'm here to have a genuine chat.
I feel vulnerable.
I feel vulnerable.
It should be board-proof after last year.
I want to ask you, was it always going to be Richmond?
Playing?
When you were
as
a young man?
No, I was a young guy playing in Tasmania. I got rung the night before the draft by Fitzroy, and my brother was playing at Fitzroy at the time.
Michael?
He'd established himself, and I was going to be picked Fitzroy's third round, and Richmond got him first. So, unbeknownst to me, I had no idea. So,
disappointed?
At the time, I was a little sort of surprised, but no, it's just Richmond are obviously a great traditional club. Great to get to Melbourne.
And you love the Richmond fans, of course, as evidenced in this post-match interview with Dipper. Have a listen.
Here's Dipper. Well, what can I say? 80,000 people, fantastic game. On behalf of all the football followers around Australia, terrific game. Your feelings here?
Oh, mate, I don't care about the followers. No, I was just gutted.
Very disappointing for you. For yourself, you played a terrific game at centre-half forward today, one of your best games this year.
It's insignificant, mate.
I'll let you go.
Jeez.
Brendan, we love that. How bad an interview is it going if Dipper wraps it up? Mate.
Changed his tune now. His followers insignificant.
Well.
Can I give that some context? We got to a flying start in '95. We dropped 3 in a row, and we were coming back to the pack, and we really set ourselves to win that game. We were in front with about 30 seconds to go, and it got drawn. And I was gutted. And the fans at the time probably weren't at the forefront of my mind. Anyway, I got smashed, and rightly so. I was petulant.
Fine, but I'll let you go, all right? Just.
Can I ask quickly, what was it like playing with your brother? You mentioned you both ended up at the same time. Mickey Gale, who I remember was very serviceable, great player for Richmond, and he good on. Spent a bit of time on the wing. I remember at some points. Have a listen. Let's have a look and see we go. Classic brother on brother stuff.
There you are, and
bang.
It's like the Cracker Brothers, isn't it? A sixth sense for just where each other is.
Jeez, mate.
Now, my question to you is, did you square it up the next week?
Well, no, there was no next week. That was a preliminary final.
That was a preliminary final from '95. So that was it for us.
That was it, yeah. So he covered himself in glory. He kicked the ball backwards about 60 metres that day. And then knocked me out. So, I lost by 70 points.
It should be a statue for him.
You're a proud Richmond man, but you're a proud Tasmanian.
Yes.
You represented your state on a number of occasions, and you're part of this magnificent historic day for Tasmanian football when they knocked over Victoria. How are you feeling, in a nutshell, how are you feeling about where Tasmanian footy in the State League is right now?
Look, it's my team, old Team Bernie, is a team that's just pulled out of the state. I mean, I was drafted from the Tasmanian State League, and I think of the first 2 or 3 years in the draft, I think there was something like 30, 40 players taken out of Tasmania at that time. But look, it's there's issues with you know, unemployment and
Someone
jobs
says
and-
something to Teddy here. Look.
Yeah, he wasn't happy, Teddy. But no, the state, the North of State's under some pressure, and it's you know, it's hard in those circumstances for guys to find jobs, and footy clubs suffer. So, you know, the AFL are doing all they can, and you know, well,
Feels like Tassie's been punished for their loyalty, really, because they're there already. Have a look at some of these crowds. These are quite amazing to have a look at. But these are, you don't have to pay for the crowd. You don't have to go to GWS levels to get this crowd. They've jammed in. Look at that standing room on top of a roof.
I think the only thing I'd say, Mick, is I reckon allocated seating is good on most occasions, but it can go too far. You know what I mean? Like,
That's got lone gunman written all over it. That has. Hey, can I quick... What? Another proud Tasmanian is joining us from the Barona, Sammy Lane.
My passport.
It's on your passport.
Hobart.
You are from one of Tasmania's greatest exports. It's great to have you both on the same show. Can I ask you this? Do you have a special moment in history, you and Benny Gale?
We do have a special connection, Brendan.
Do we? Okay.
I don't know if you know about this.
I don't
Sam's one of the few people ever to see trial by video live.
It's true, it scarred me ever since. No. So when I was just starting out in journalism, you were my first interview. And I was a teenager, and I thought we'd just do it on the phone, and you said, why don't you come over to my house? so of course I said yes, and I was so nervous, and I had this big tape recorder, and like, you know, you were like, do you want a cup of tea or coffee or water? And I said, water, thanks. You came back with a massive glass of water, and I just, through nerves, kicked it over, and you like ran around for a towel. It was the most awkward beginning to an interview ever, but you were very kind.
Yeah, it's probably a little flustered, Sam. I don't know.
I don't think you were.
I do remember that. I do remember that. And
It was a great article.
At least you've kicked on, haven't you? So.
Hey, Sam, you'll be coming over. We want to talk to you about the AFLW Grand Final. So you're going to come over and join us in a moment. But it's a huge night, and we'll probably talk to Sam about this as well. Tomorrow night, Richmond Carlton kick it off at the MCG. Who knows how many are going to be
This
there,
is the
of course.
unfurling of the Premiership flag. How's it going to take place?
It's going to be very simple but symbolic, Mick. It's about the fans. This is the People's Premiership, and we've got 11 members representing 11 premierships, each with their own unique story of passion and support of our football.
And we might well break the home and away record of all time here. 90,000 people, MCG. It's going to be packed to the rafters.
Let's hope we do. Let's hope we do. I'd like to put a special plea, whether you're a Carlton supporter or a Richmond supporter, just if you love the game, let's make this the biggest home and away crowd ever. Get to the game, buy a ticket.
Why?
Well, because Carlton and Richmond are splitting the gate 50-50. So get to the...
What is wrong with you?
Get to the game.
Why would you do that?
Benny?
Why would you do that? After all your good work, you go and do that, give them the gate, that's it, spill of all positions. At Richmond, spill of all positions.
And, of course, after you've watched the game on the 7 Network, there is going to be a fantastic documentary aired, Richmond Special.
Yes.
Don't Believe in Never, straight after the game of footy, documenting the remarkable year, the stories
Benny
behind the
Gale.
story of the Richmond Premiership tomorrow night after the footy. You'll be part of it. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you very much.
Good luck for the season to come. Brendan Gale, the CEO of the Richmond Footy Club. What a year we've got to look forward to. We'll get a break out of the way here on the front bar. Sam's going to come over at the desk after this.
Thanks, mate.
Welcome back to the show. It is the front bar. Wouldn't be the front bar without Nick Smoldy, and it's back for 2018, folks.
Here we go, people.
What do you got?
Load up. This one cannot lose.
No.
This is as good as it gets. I've got a really good feeling about this.
Okay. Just with a bit
This
of...
is going to go off.
Right, what do you got for
Mick Smolty, first leg. Have a look at this little fella. This little budding chef. Have a look at the footage. And there it goes. Watch out. And where we go. I'd like to wager that kid misses 3 Wiggles concerts with concussion.
No, Mick, you can't have that.
What?
But no. But how about I give you the Tigers to beat the Blues by 70 plus, and I'll give you 650.
Oh, I will take it.
You fool.
Lock that one in, muchacho. All right, let's have a look at the big second leg. Have a look at these soldiers and have a look at them as they approach the house. Remember, they're on a training exercise. They say the first guy through the door is the one to watch, but what's the second guy? Bang!
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I'd like to wager that soldier was born caesarean section. That's a good bet. That's a good bet. Yes.
No. Why? No, you can't have that.
But I want
No,
it.
you're not having it. I'm going to give you Rory Sloane 30 plus disposals against the Bombers, and I'll give you $5.
Well, he needs a couple after the granny. So, yes, I'll go with that. Here we go. Leg 3, the premiership leg. This is what they all say. Have a look at this little tyke and have a look at the interaction with the bird life here. Don't mess with me. Here come the gulls, and whoa! I'll have that.
It's just impressive.
I'd like to wager that they hired that young girl to deal with the seagull problem at the MCG.
You can't. You're not,
Why?
No, because they've already got the Eagles flying above head.
Whose
But
multi is this?
It's yours.
Okay.
But I'm going to give you the Hawks to beat the Pies 1-39, and you can have 237. This is building up nice.
I will take it. This is getting juicy. You've got to get in on this. Get in on the ground level, I'm telling you. This is the week, people. Wait till you see this. Leg 4. This is where we boot this baby home. Have a look at this skateboarder. What could go wrong? And what?
What's the bet?
I'd like to wager that they won't send the soldier in to get that guy out. What? Bang it up.
I've given it.
That's a good bet.
You're not having that. You're not having that. But I'll give you Gary Ablett in his first game back for the Cats to be the first goal scorer. And I'll give you $12.
Sold.
Gee, what are we paying for in the mixed multi? What's it? Oh, baby.
You're an idiot if you don't have a crack at that. That is as...
You do it with a great deal of responsibility.
Do it, of course.
To get on Mixed Multi, jump on the Sportsbet app and look for the Mixed Multi in the Australian rules section of the...
Come on!
Just have a gentle little go. We're going to get a break out of the way here on the front, but when we come back... The last shout.
Oh, the last shout.
To the show, time for the last shout, of course, and I think you're running away.
We traditionally do this. What do you got? What are you sitting on?
I'm going to start with the first retirement of 2018.
What?
Kurt Tippett.
Yes.
Already retired.
Yeah, to retire before a season's even started is pretty impressive, by the way. But Kurt Tippett will always hold a special place in this show's heart due to Barry Hall's famous commentary of Kurt Tippett at halftime of a game a couple of years ago.
Kurt Tippett out of the game. He needs to lift, and he's done so far.
It's blowing my mind.
We got time, just in case you didn't hear it the first time. We'll make sense of it.
He's a genius.
It's
stream of consciousness.
Have another go at Barry Hall and talking about Kurt Tippett.
Kurt Tippett out of the game. He needs to lift, and he's done so far.
No, it doesn't get better the second time, does it? Anyway, Kurt Tippett, well done, well done. Great career, well done.
And on that note, we've got to go. Let's stay. We've already done it.
That's it. Cara, that's just about it for us this week. Thanks for tuning in next week.
Come on, go Tigers.
We already tomorrow night, of course, you'll be seeing it right here on 7. We can't wait for next week.
Who's on next week?
Jeff Kennett.
Jeff Kennett on the show
Fantastic.
next week.
A welcome return to football.
No, trust me, it'll be fun. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks to the studio audience. Thanks to Brendan Garland. Sam Lone. Thanks for tuning in. Enjoy the opening round of the season. We've been here for the #1 tap beer in Australia. Brewery Fresh Carlton Draft. We'll see you next week.